even with. So hey everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, hi, my name is Astha. I'm a big time makeup junkie. I love makeup, I love playing with makeup, and if you love makeup too, please consider following for all the unfiltered makeup content. That would mean a lot to me. And for today's video, I am trying out a new launch from Nykaa Cosmetics, and it's their new eyeshadow palette, and I'm so happy to see this new launch. We finally have something other than skin tint, tinted sunscreen, lip balm, lip oil, lip tints. We finally have something in eye makeup category. As I said, this is a new launch from Nykaa Cosmetics. These are called 9-in-1 eyeshadow palettes, available in 3 different shades, like 3 different variants. I've got one of those with me. Now I'm so disappointed here because initially I ordered 2 different palettes, but I received one of my palette in a completely damaged condition. I'll attach the image here. And I'm so disheartened because this never happened with me before when it comes to Nykaa. Especially, I receive most of my products in a pretty good condition. This time I don't think so it has to do anything with courier company or shipping, because the outer box was kind of intact. It was in a perfect condition, but my palette had no bubble wrap packaging. It had that, thin paper wrap packaging, and of course that paper is not going to protect my palette, of course. So it was definitely a packaging issue. As of now, I'm only left with this one palette. I'm still waiting for the return, pickup, refund and everything. So yes, let's talk about this one palette. Talking about the outer packaging, this is what it looks like. This has got this metallic outer box packaging. It says Igo Bold. Igo Bold is the variant I picked up, and it also says 9-in-1 eyeshadow palette. And now when I take out my palette, this is okay. This has also got that foam thing to protect your palette, which clearly didn't work. And now this is what our palette looks like. This is the size of the palette, and yes, each palette has different kind of packaging, like color, shade and everything, depends on the variant you pick. Even with this palette, I feel the mirror is going to come off, so I have to hold like this. So yes, this is what a palette looks like. This has got 4 matte shades, 4 shimmer shades and 1 marble shade. Like most of you, even I feel the palettes are kind of inspired by Huda Beauty, which is absolutely fine. It's perfectly fine, because not everyone can afford palettes worth 2500 rupees. Now talking about this particular palette, I think from packaging to shade inspiration, I think it's very much similar to the Wild Obsessions. I don't think so I have any of the palette like from Wild Obsessions, but yeah, the shades are kind of similar. Now let me quickly swatch the shades for you. And I forgot to tell you the most important thing, MRP. So yes, these palettes are priced at 900 rupees each for 9 grams of the product. For me, these are kind of reasonable, not too expensive, not too affordable, under rupees 1000. So yes, I think 900 for this palette is pretty okayish. So here I tried swatching few of the shades from the palette, and these look so pretty. I hope my camera is in focus. So yes, matte shades also feel so buttery. These are not too powdery. Now here I have zoomed in a bit so that you can see what I'm doing and what all shades I'm gonna use. So yes, let's start. So I'm starting with this particular shade. This is the lightest shade I have, and the brush here I'm using is from Meesho, very random brush. I'm picking the shade and again dusting the excess, tapping again and dusting excess. I'm gonna place this above my crease, like above my crease line here, like this, taking bit more dusting of the excess and again placing just above my crease. Using this shade, this is the darkest matte shade we have, again dusting and taking off the excess, placing this just below my transition shade, like just in my crease area, and blending it well. Like this. Next, I'm going to use this shade. This is such a pretty shimmery amethyst kind of a shade, but I'm not going to use this directly on my eyelid. Like ऐसे ही मैं use नहीं करने वाली हूँ. I'm gonna make a base before using this shade. Like by base I mean using a eyeliner or kajal of the same shade. So at the end, it's gonna look more vibrant, more popping, and more beautiful. So for that, I'm using Swiss Beauty Duo Kajal. I'm gonna use the purple side. This step is actually very similar for like the process we do in smoky eye, black smoky eye, but this is actually a negotiable step. You can completely skip it if you don't feel like. Here I want to do is because I want that eyeshadow to look more popping and more vibrant at the end. But in case if you want to do it, you don't have to make your eyeliner very neat and clean, because anyway we will be blending it. Also we will add the another layer of the eyeshadow. So just now when I'm done with the application of kajal, I'm gonna let it sit for good 2 to 3 minutes, because this has got, you know, gel kind of a finish. So I'm gonna use this shade, and it's always better to use shimmer shades with finger rather than the brush. So yes, let's start. This particular shade feels like a pressed shimmer shade. This feels so soft and buttery at the same time. Wow, this looks so pretty. The shade actually looks really pretty. Now here's one thing I quickly want to point out before swatching the shade on my hand or on my eyes. I feel this was more like a shimmery shade, purple shimmery kind of a shade, as I said, amethyst kind of a shade. But after swatching and after application, I feel this is more on the, you know, holographic side. Not exactly a shade shifter shade, but this has got multiple shimmers like pink, blue, silver, purplish. Now if you have seen that very famous shade from Huda Beauty Rose Quartz palette, or even if you own that palette, you exactly know the shade I'm talking about. This looks very similar to that. Again, I'm not saying it is exactly same, but yeah, very similar, and it looks breathtaking, to be honest. After swatching this hair, I just want to try this particular shade without any eyeshadow, without any base. Using the same blending brush, here I'm just dusting the excess off. Also, if there are any kind of harsh lines between the crease and shimmery eyeshadow. So yes, now for some reason I'm not using any kajal on my waterline, but just to add that depth on my waterline, like outer lash line, I'm using the dark brown shade. I have used only two matte shades from the palette, and both of the shades feel so soft and buttery, easy to blend. Also the brand says this has got no fallout, but I can see a little bit of fallout, especially after using the shimmery shade. I can see a little bit you know, in my under eye area, which I'm kind of okay with, as this is a powder product, so no doubt there's going to be a little more fallout. But most importantly, shades are pigmented, does not feel chalky at all, and blends very easily. Now this is how my eye makeup looks. I love how this turned out. I can't even tell you how stunning this looks in real. Now I'm just going to use natural looking false lashes, complete my base makeup, and come back to you. Now this is how my look turned out. I absolutely love my eye makeup. It looks so beautiful and dreamy at the same time. This shade looks so pretty. Time for a mini review. Talking about the palette, I love how this looks. I know it looks inspired by Huda Beauty, but as long as it works for me, as long as it serves the purpose, I have no problem with that. And as I said, not everyone can afford mini palettes worth 2500 rupees. So I think at this price point, this is such a good eyeshadow palette. Shades are quite pigmented, non-chalky, and super soft to work with. I used the darkest shade from the palette, and it is so pigmented, non-chalky, and blends really easily. Shimmers are also so pigmented. Talking about this particular shade I used on my eyelid, this looks so stunning, you know, so dreamy, straight out of the fairy tale. But I would recommend application of shimmer shades using your finger, not the brush. Now the brand says it has got no fallout. Now I won't say no fallout, but it was very minimal, like very minimal as compared to other brands at the same price point, which is very impressive. That's it for today's video. I really hope you find this video helpful. If you're planning to buy these eyeshadow palettes, also yes, the review is based on my personal experience with the product and has nothing to do with the brand. I bought these from my own money. So yes, if you like the video, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Bye.